Spooky Spice, would you like to tell us a little bit about who you are and your whole thing with this warehouse and crazy stuff?
I'm part of like a collective who is renting the space, but I'm not even on the lease, so
Okay.
I don't want to claim the warehouse as my own, but I definitely have stepped into a bigger like management role in the collective, especially in the recent days. But yeah, it's I wish I knew square footage. It's a medium-ish size.
It could fit at least 150.
That's max though. I would say 80 is comfy. 80 to 100 is comfy for sure for a show. We do different things though. I recently changed the name of the space to Amorphous LA just because the space and the individuals involved are amorphous. The space changes based on the event, based on the people in there, so I just thought it was a fitting name for the space. Yeah, there's been different direction changes since it's been happening. I think it's been running for about like a year and a half. We've been doing shows there. I threw the first show there ever, and then my friends who are renting the space, they just kind of kept the wheel rolling, and we've done a lot of different underground artists, like hip hop, we've done EDM shows, we've done like experimental noise shows. We're just interested in kind of like underground art forms and giving certain groups of people a voice and a platform that they wouldn't be able to afford or be granted otherwise. But the passion really lies in definitely the more like creature projects shows, you know, the fun artistic stuff that doesn't necessarily pay the bills, but that we enjoy hosting and being a part of.
Well, you know, I think it's like, it's just part of what you do. So you have the part that you don't necessarily hate, but it's just like, okay, this is work.
Yeah.
And then you have the part that's like, okay,
and
this is actually
fun for me too.
Enjoying, fulfilling for me.
But I'm also like heavily working those events, and it's not as creative, you know? Like,
you don't get have as much freedom.
Exactly.
Which is like, I feel the main reason people come out to LA to have the freedom to make their dreams come true.
Yeah.
And you know, I think it's kind of a cliche. It's unfortunate that it has to be just one physical area, because you would think being a globalized world, and yet people are still coming to LA.
Yeah.
And you know, I wonder how long that trend can continue, but I think that while you're in there, of course you have to support yourself, but also being able to express yourself. And I know that's kind of a cliche phrase, like, oh, express yourself, but you know, you're also finding yourself. I bet that you've changed a lot since you first came here and are still changing.
Yeah, and the warehouse itself, I like the name Amorphous because it makes it feel more like its own kind of entity that changes and evolves on its own, because it is its own space and it's been different life, breathes different things into it. And yeah, it's an interesting thing to watch evolve and be a part of. It's cool though, I'm very fortunate that I got to be a part of it, and that we're trying to move in new, more positive directions, and just, it's hard to run a collective, it's hard being a group of people.
That's right, conflict resolution. It's the hardest thing to do, because I've seen so many groups of friends, groups of artists who are torn apart by things that are just, you would think, why would that be the thing that set everybody off? And yet it can happen, and yet if you can get a handle on it and learn, especially being young, we have this time in our lives to find what we're good at, and then find people who are good at that thing that we couldn't do. I've seen that, you know, with like older people who are in their 40s or 50s, who've been in business for a long time. They kind of know, oh, that guy is good at marketing. That guy is good at, you know, making art. And, you know, it can seem like, wow, that guy has a talent. That girl has a talent that I don't have. And, you know, some people are just really dynamic. But, you know, I think we're all dynamic in our own right. I bet just in the time you've been here, your skills for dealing with all this have really grown. Is that right?
Yeah, for sure, and I'm growing a lot right now because we're in this interesting transition period. We're having some volatile stuff happen within the core group, and have a little bit of a breakup. And it's right now we're in the thick of it. It's very intense, and I reacted a little bit, and now I'm pulling back and realizing that I shouldn't have reacted. And this is definitely going to be a huge transition and growing, learning process over the next couple of weeks, most likely. And it's difficult to have to learn how to deal with all these different personalities
and like all artists have their own. It's cliched because I feel that people are gonna say, oh, if you got this like mental problem, oh, you must be like some kind of artsy person, and it's like it's not that simple.
But it's often true.
Well, I think it comes down to this, because I was thinking about it, and I thought, if you've got issues in your life and you're trying to work through that, and it's some people, not everybody can do the 9 to 5 thing, and it's like, you know what? I've got nothing else to lose, so I can either just off myself or put all my energy into this thing because I love this passion that I have, and I love the people, even if they annoy me, even if there are bad people out there. At the end of the day, you put your energy into that, and I think that it's a much better outcome than just pulling away, and that's hard. So now, how did you get your start in wanting to pursue like a warehouse type situation?
Yeah, it literally was just that my friends moved here from New York. Well, my one friend moved from New York, and I became friends with the other person who got this warehouse space with them. They're both artists and like fabrication people. Like one of them is a master welder, one of them is a master electrician, but they both do other art outside of it. Like the welder does music, the electrician is a incredible poet, spoken word artist, and also does sculptures and stuff. So they're both very creative, hands-on individuals. So they got this warehouse space, and I saw the potential. And I'm really good at throwing shows. I've thrown events, like even low-key parties when I was like a teenager. You know what I mean?
Sure. You were that kind of person that it's like, she's the plug for all this stuff.
I was like 15 throwing keggers. Like, where did I get kegs from? Like. But
I think that we're more capable than we realize sometimes.
Yeah, and I'm great at pulling people together and networking, and like I'm talented in my own rights in different ways, but I also attract a lot of really interesting, talented people from so many different walks of life, and I'm able to pull people together and like create things. And so
you run into people, it's like they're just on a different wavelength, and not necessarily in a bad sense, but just the kinds of people that you wonder like how their mind works. They're able to come up with this stuff, but you enjoy it because if they weren't in the world,
we wouldn't be there.
Yeah. So I started staying at the space, and I was like, let me throw a show, and they're like, okay, and it went really well. I like pulled a bartender, I got the whole bar with cocktails, a bunch of people showed up. It was really fun and successful, and then they're like, oh wow, this can be something else, and then they started hosting, throwing shows. And I just want to continue the legacy, make it bigger, better, just do more cool things there. And like we're renovating inside, we want to completely redo the inside and do a bunch of art installations that just make it look amazing, and we can start like renting it out for photo shoots and video shoots and having art shows there besides just like music shows. And so we have big dreams and goals for the space, hopefully.
What you've got in life, you gotta push as far as you can.
Nobody's gonna do it for you.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Lordvza, I'm gonna kind of segue a little bit.
Okay.
How did you meet Spooky Spice and get all this set up?
Initially, what happened was we were having a party, and it didn't really end up going out too well. Not that many people came, and he invited Spooky Spice, and I met her that way, and we were having a cigarette or something in the backyard, and I mentioned I made music, and the entire time I've been here, I was here for about a month at that point. I wanted to play a show, and I specifically said I really want to play a warehouse show. And she kind of just like stared at me and was like, "I have a warehouse."
It fell right in your lap, right?
Absolutely. And ever since then, I mean, like I've DJ'd my first set. Like I DJ'd there. I set up, played people's performances. They were emailing me their songs. It's a really nice spot. I mean, really thankful that she gave me the opportunity to even throw the event. So I tried to put as many people on the venue as possible so that we could have like a packed out, sold out thing.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be good. I can say that there may be an extra surprise during the event, maybe a release of something that I've been working on under another brand that Lordvza knows about, but very few people know about. And it may be a shirt, but that's why I'm going to give any hints on that. So Spooky Spice, where originally did you grow up and just like, how was that and then coming out to LA?
Yeah, I grew up in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
A little different.
Yeah, very different from LA. There's not much to do except for get fucked up and get into trouble.
I think we have that here in LA too.
Yeah.
But there's so much more creative. There's opportunities. Like Albuquerque, there's not anything. There's a plateau you hit, and if you want to do anything, you need to leave for the most part. There's very few slots for people to be successful staying in that city doing stuff. And even then, you move on. Like my good friend Jody Herrera, she's this incredible painter, and of course she's huge in New Mexico because she's native from there and incredible. And she just left finally. I never thought she'd leave, but she did because she plateaued too. Even though she was like the one of a kind, I know there's not other incredible painters there, but. Yeah, there's not really much. So I got into a lot of trouble really young. I've always been pretty wild, and Albuquerque just wasn't really big enough for me. I always knew I wanted to do bigger, better, crazier things. I moved around a lot after I graduated college.
Yeah.
And I eventually found myself in LA, I think about 4 years ago. After I'd been visiting from Austin, Texas for a while, visiting friends, I just fell in love with it. And I've been in and out ever since, mostly due to like financial reasons. It's hard. LA's very expensive, and I have tattoos everywhere. But artistically, the community here is amazing. People always say how fake Angelinos are, and not necessarily Angelinos, mostly the transplants. But the community I've found is not fake at all. They're really genuine, creative, talented, amazing, loving people. I love it here. I love the opportunities it's afforded me, and I think it's worth it. Like I'd rather struggle here than anywhere else,
I feel like, too, when people think of, like, LA, they're thinking of a different crowd, definitely. Tai Lopez, 12 Steps to Build Your Life, quick, get rich type shit. Yeah. I mean, that's around. And it's like around in my city, too, not to the same level. But, if you can find your tribe, you can find people that really you connect with. I mean, I can say I feel like a lot of people badmouth the internet, but... we have not found each other if it was not through the internet in some capacity.
Yeah, I love social media, internet, and all that stuff. And also, saying that shit's super ableist because, I have friends who have autoimmune disorders and, chronic illnesses that literally don't have the energy to go out and fucking meet people.
Yeah.
So they have a lot of online friends, and I don't think it's fake. How can you say that those are fake relationships?
I have more personal friendships with people over the internet than I do in real life.
Yeah.
And the people you meet, shout out to my friend 990X. He's been featured on this channel, and we've been talking so much, and it's crazy how similar our lives are, despite the fact that he's in Australia, I'm here in California.
Exactly.
That shouldn't, but it does.
Yep. Yeah. Same with me in South Korea and Russia.
That's great.
The world's really small, man.
It is small, and the internet just
makes it smaller.
Bridges those gaps.
Exactly.
Well, my dream is to get a bigger warehouse that's mine. And I don't know if you know who Yes Jules is, but I'm really inspired by her. She grew up in foster homes and, like me, was kind of wild and wanted to do the normal shit and loves music. And now she's huge. She throws massive parties all over. She's based in Miami, or at least has been. And so she's really inspiring to me. I love throwing shows, I love hosting parties, I love events, I love music, I love dancing. So that's what I want to do. I just want to have a warehouse and also travel, hosting events and parties. That's my dream job, is just being able to network, connect people, dance, listen to good music, just make the party happen.